As a final example of deck building, I'm going to demonstrate an Earth and Bludgeon build which I like to call Light Armor Tank. Unlike the builds I've shown you up until this point, Mimner is actually optimized for this build. Rather than go through in detail each of the 6 decks I use in this fight, I will instead explain the general ideas of the decks as I am using them. I've already used my first deck to apply some long-term buffs using static glyphs. The next deck after that is a lean stacking deck for stacking up Torpor, Savage Sonata, and Berserk. After throwing my Berserk, we're done here. I now switch to a buff deck for short-term buffs, mostly out of the light armor tree. For this fight, I choose Haste Potion, Flurry, Evasion, and Fortified Defenses. Now I switch to my Pulling deck. This deck is normally used for AoE ground pounds, but here I just stack them to get them out of the way. After knocking the big boy on his butt, I hit him with Fireflies and then switch to my Polearm deck. This Polearms deck will be one of the 2 main workhorse decks for this fight. This is a lean stacking deck which is great for putting a 5-4-3 puncture on the boss, reducing its healing regen, and applying a nice dot. I also like to use this deck to refresh Savage, Fireflies, and debuff a little damage avoidance with a couple pulls. Now the boss is about to stand up, so I switch to my spamming deck. This is a bludgeon deck which spams Break Armor and Break Weapon on slot 5 while stacking combos of Splintering Strike on slot 4. These glyphs apply a massive amount of debuffs to the mob's damage resistance, as well as buffing my Earth Attunement which increases my hit points, strength, and amount of healing from Torpor. In this one fight, you can see nearly all the tactics discussed throughout this entire tutorial series at play. Over the years, my playstyle has constantly evolved as I have invented, innovated, and sometimes just plain imitated my way to my current techniques. This set of tactics is in no way representative of everything that is possible with this system. There are many excellent players, past and present, who could add enormous insight to the material in these tutorials. I'm also sure that, with a system as deep as this, there exist some tactics which have yet to be discovered. I hope that you have enjoyed my tutorial series and managed to find some part of it helpful.